I've been working for a couple of hours now and I'm encountering a problem with my workspace. I have my canvas back to the window, so I'm getting really bad light. So the next task is to change that. My next step is going to be cleaning off some of the places where the graphite paper left some smudges. I'm using a fresh piece of kneaded eraser. I don't want any old charcoal or anything getting onto this. Since I'm working on clayboard instead of canvas, it takes to detail really nicely, but it also eats up anything that gets on it. So all of this graphite is just getting smudged and smeared onto like this clay finish on the wood panel that I'm going to be painting on. And there's no way to actually erase all of the graphite, but what I want to do is make sure that these smudges and smears are lifted up as much as possible because I don't want them lifting up into the paint when I do the final painting. The next step is filling in some of the details that I wasn't able to do earlier. So this section right here, I left almost completely blank. You can see that I still only have so much detail to work with, but I'm going to do my best here. And as I fill in these details, I'm actually not using a traditional graphite pencil. I'm using silver point. So this is actually a piece of 16 gauge silver, and you write with the metal itself instead of like with graphite. One of my art professors taught me this trick. It was used a lot in the medieval ages, especially before graphite was really common and cheap. And over time, the silver tarnishes to a really deep, rich color. And this technique leaves a lot of really fine details and you can't smear and smudge it. It does have downsides, like you can't erase at all. Now I'm having a moment of great confusion over that section, trying to figure out exactly what is happening with the shape that you see right here, because I just can't quite make out what's happening. And so I'm referencing my book about designing and building Celtic knotwork and seeing if there is anything in here that can be of help. If not, I'm just going to do my best to make something that looks good. So I can't find quite what I'm looking for, but there is this section in the original that's really beat up, and I think I found a reference for it in this book that's going to be really helpful, so I'm pretty hyped about that. And this book is pretty hilarious. The student is advised to experiment in this manner to gain knowledge. I mean, yeah, I guess you learn by doing. There's also this section in the middle of the Christ monogram that I'm struggling with the most, that the book has a reference for right here, along with a breakdown of exactly how the knots get built. And it's labeled, "The living things of the earth, man, beast, bird, and reptile, vegetation excluded." And then down here, it's like contents: 4 human hairy males, 4 reptiles, 4 beasts, 12 birds. All right then. I'm actually trying to figure out some of the meaning behind this. Like, we're gonna have references to the 4 gospel writers and the 12 apostles here, but also we have a reference to Starbucks. Speaking of Starbucks, it's terrible for you and it's sugary, but you know what? Sometimes you work 10-hour days and you have a half-off coupon, and there's going to be a tornado watch and it's about to rain, so I'm just hoping that I can be mildly productive tonight. Tornado warning is over, and even though I couldn't bring the painting with me, I did get some work done. This work represents solving about 1 square inch of the Chi Rho monogram. So we're off to an auspicious start as far as the time frame goes.